Everybody, give me just a moment. We'll get started here. We'll give it just a few. Let some people filter into the live. Just 1 second here. Looks like everything's booting up here pretty quick. So I want to go over an update on where we stand as of right now. It's 1:36 p.m. So if you're watching this on playback, it is Tuesday, April 29th at 1:37 p.m. We have severe weather chances today. We've already had severe weather today. We have more chances later today, tonight, and then again tomorrow. And I want to go over that as we kind of have a little bit of a pause. We don't have any warnings right now. There's no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings. So I want to lay everything out. That way, if you have questions, I've got around 15 minutes before I have to go pick up my son. That way, if you have questions about today and tomorrow, hopefully this will help answer those questions. So looking out at the state, no issues really outside of this strong storm that is headed east-northeast near Ponca. It's headed towards Harrison. There might be some hail in here, quite a bit of lightning, perhaps some strong wind gust. The tornado risk with that storm is extremely low at this time as that heads off to the northeast, but no tornado warnings or anything like that. So to kind of set the stage for the rest of the day, this is not all we're going to deal with. We're going to have more rounds later. So this is called the HRRR. It's a short-term, high-resolution rapid refresh model, so high-resolution data. It's not always perfect. Sometimes it can be a little rough, but it does a good job generally of giving us an idea on what to expect. And this is through 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. You can see additional developments here in western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. And I think we're going to have this afternoon a couple of more storms that end up forming. Some which could be strong, large hail, strong winds, and a low, but not zero tornado risk. It's late April. You can never really count out tornadoes in late April here. And you can see that this model likes the idea of having a few of those storms forming this evening. This is at 6 p.m., 6 p.m. You can see west of Little Rock, north of Little Rock. And this continues through the evening hours. We have more developments through 8 p.m., 9 p.m. This model sort of fizzles that activity. Who knows how legit that is, but you can see we've got a lot of development out west. This is around 9 p.m. tonight. Maybe you're starting to get settled in for bed. I'm talking about Tuesday night tonight. We've got activity forming out to the west, and it's likely that we have additional developments here in western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, before a larger wave of storms moves in. Now, this is a problem when it comes to flash flooding. That's why the flash flood watches have been issued for a large chunk of Arkansas. Is you can see I like to call them blob, just a big blob of nasty. Lots of rain, storms. I think the severe weather risk with this, outside of flooding, the main concern would be maybe some strong winds, perhaps some hail with a very low tornado risk. And this is going to continue to kind of cycle through into the evening hours. And you can see that highlight of western Arkansas and northern Arkansas. Parts of central, southern, and eastern Arkansas might kind of miss most of this today. This is the severe weather risk for today. You can see a large part of Arkansas is shaded in yellow. That's a level 2 of 5. Severe weather risk, a slight risk, whereas in areas north, southwest, and southeast of Little Rock really don't have much of a severe weather risk today. So if you live in Russellville, if you live in Mena, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Mountain Home, Batesville, you have a little bit better chance for a strong storm or two this afternoon and tonight, where if you live south of Little Rock, you don't. Now fast forward to tomorrow, Wednesday, another risk for severe weather tomorrow. So Wednesday, April 30th. The entire state, technically outside of a sliver of southeast Arkansas, has a severe weather risk tomorrow. The dark green is a level 1 of 5. The yellow, once again, that's a slight risk, level 2 of 5 here. So Little Rock, west of Fort Smith, down to Texarkana, up to Fayetteville, Harrison, Conway, a large chunk of the state. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a severe weather risk upgrade tomorrow for southwest Arkansas, maybe parts of west central Arkansas, but especially down towards Texas and Oklahoma. And we'll go over that in just a moment too. The tornado risk tomorrow looks a little bit better than it does today. Now, it's not high, but it's not low like today. Today, it's pretty low. And I know that it says 5 to 9% over here, and you might be thinking, that's 5%. That's not good at all. Guys, that's not like rain chances. 5%, 5 to 9% tornado probabilities in late April is pretty good. And I think the concern for tomorrow, I'm talking about Wednesday, is tomorrow evening in southwest Arkansas and in the western half of the state as storms move in. I do have new data loading that has not come in yet, but I'll show you what the HRRR, the model we looked at earlier, is suggesting for tomorrow night, so Wednesday. And this is around 3 to 5 p.m. You can see thunderstorms moving into western Arkansas tomorrow, so Wednesday. Some of these could be stronger. And this continues into the evening hours, around 5 to 8 p.m. or so. And you can really see that activity strong in southwest Arkansas. And one thing that I really like to look at, it's not the end-all solution, is the low-level jet, the 850 millibar winds. And you can see this little shade of orange and red here. And that's suggesting, this model is indicating that we could have a low-level jet core well over 30 to 40, maybe up closer to 45 plus knots, which is supportive of tornadoes, if you ask me. So we'll have to really watch southwest Arkansas tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening close for tornado potential. So places like Foreman, Horatio, Texarkana, maybe even as far north as Mena, and down towards maybe Hot Springs, that kind of southwest corridor of the state for Wednesday. So I know it's a lot of information at once, but we got a lot going on right now. We're in a little bit of a brief, outside of this one storm, we're kind of in a little bit of a pause right now. Looking at the radar out of Little Rock, there's just not a whole lot going on in the state right now outside of that some scattered shower activity and the one storm in northern Arkansas that's moving off to the northeast. But remember, like we spoke about earlier, I think we'll have additional activity later tonight. I did have I want to see if I can get it pulled up real quick. This NATOcast file for tomorrow. Now, I want to make something really clear, guys. This is a model, not a forecast. Don't go tell Aunt Jerry that Zachary Hall said that there's a 15% chance of strong tornadoes tomorrow in southwest Arkansas. It's a model. The red shading, these black shaded contours, this is kind of like what the SPC uses for tornado potential. It's one model. It's suggesting that, to me, putting it in English terms, this model is thinking that the chance for tornadoes is pretty good tomorrow in southwest Arkansas. You can see the hatched region, the red shaded region, that's pretty solid, especially down in Texas towards Dallas. When I see something like this, this tells me that models are picking up on something that the parameter space might be supportive for rotating storms tomorrow, so Wednesday, especially in southwest Arkansas. Just wanted to show you guys that and make sure everyone's up to speed. So got a lot of chat questions over here. I'll do my best. I've got around 5 minutes before I've got to get out of here and go get my son. So if you have questions and you're still watching, feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer them. Hopefully everything we have discussed, if you're watching this live or if you're watching it later today on playback, has helped you figure out kind of what to expect. It's not going to be a 24/7 washout. We're going to have brief pauses. Some of you probably haven't dealt with a whole lot today, but you eventually will over the next day or so into Wednesday. And then I haven't even really discussed Thursday, but I want to get through Tuesday and Wednesday first. So, Kalesh says, please update and let us know if Gravette is at a risk for a more severe storm. So yeah, we discussed northwest Arkansas earlier. So today, Gravette, which is in northwestern Benton County, is under a risk for more storms later tonight, some which could be strong. And then maybe again tomorrow, I think the better risk for severe weather may be to the south of you, but there's still a chance tomorrow as well. Christian says tornado chances for tonight or tomorrow. So tonight, Tuesday, the risk is pretty low. The tornado risk tomorrow, Wednesday, is better. I think it's better than it is today, especially in southwest Arkansas. The brown shaded 5 to 9% chance. Remember, not like rain chances. Those are pretty good probabilities for late April. So Cameron says, what's the timeline? Nader Baby's locked in. Not like the forecast for tomorrow. I know. Tomorrow. So Denise says, what about Mark Tree, Arkansas? Well, Mark Tree is in far northeast Arkansas near Jonesboro. I think your risk tomorrow in Mark Tree might be a little bit better to see some storm activity, but the tornado risk today and tomorrow in Mark Tree is pretty low. Severe weather risk in general is low in that area, northeast Arkansas, today and tomorrow. It's not, I shouldn't say low today technically because parts of northeast Arkansas is in the slight risk, the level 2 of 5. But then again, I don't think the severe weather risk today, a large part of the state in general, is exceptionally high. So Zach says, how's Greenbrier looking? Well, Greenbrier's kind of in that zone, just like we were talking about with northeast Arkansas, level 2 of 5 today. We will have the potential later this evening for more storms and late tonight and then again tomorrow. So Greenbrier is also included in that. Carissa says, I'm just now joining. What is the risk for Mayflower tornadoes? So Mayflower is near Conway here in central Arkansas. The risk today is fairly low, Carissa. The risk tomorrow is a little better, but still not very high for that part of the state. Much better tornado chances in southwest Arkansas near Texarkana, Mena, areas west of Arkadelphia, in that part of the state. Yeah, we already talked about Jonesboro. We've already discussed that. Gina says, so basically what you're saying is I can go fishing. Yeah, you can go fishing. Just if you hear thunder, you should probably ditch the poles and go inside. Watching from Texas while we travel back home from Fayetteville, says Carly. James says, I'm just jumping on. What is the timing for this evening's chance of storms? Okay, we'll go over this one more time for timing. So we have storms, right now in northern Arkansas, but really we're getting kind of that good pause. It does look like we will have scattered development this afternoon and this evening across western Arkansas. You can see that activity here. So from, it's almost 2 o'clock now, from 2 through around 6 to 7 p.m., we're going to have the chance for scattered activity in the western central part of the state, maybe even in the northern part of the state, before a large wave of showers and storms moves in later this evening. You can see that here in western Arkansas. This might be late tonight, maybe 9, 10, 11 o'clock, or even after midnight, and this will filter off to the east-northeast before our next wave of storms moves in tomorrow afternoon. So Alan says, I sent you a DM, but no response. Alan, I'm sorry, buddy. When we have severe weather, I get hundreds of messages. I'll see if I can find it. What about Magnolia? Magnolia, the risk today is a little bit lower. As a matter of fact, in Magnolia, there's not really a defined severe weather risk, whereas in tomorrow, maybe a little bit better chances in south central Arkansas, but still not as high as western and southwest Arkansas. Courtney says, Central Arkansas, Lone Oak, what's the risk for tornadoes today and tomorrow? Well, so in Lone Oak, which is close to, we'll just say the Little Rock region in general, the severe weather risk today in Central Arkansas, specific to the Little Rock area, is fairly low. It's better north and west of Little Rock, and the tornado risk obviously is very low as well. A little bit better tomorrow near Little Rock. So if you live in the Little Rock region, it's not exceptionally high. Here's the tornado risk. This green outline kind of expands up into central and back up to north. Certainly nothing to lose sleep over, but there is a possibility for some strong to severe weather in central Arkansas. Maybe a little bit better chances tomorrow than today. Elizabeth says, is the storms by themselves the ones we have to watch? Yeah, so anytime we have isolated storms, especially if they're supercellular, so rotating storms, they can be a little bit more dangerous. Larger hails, more likely, tornadoes. So, yeah. Andy says, did Gravette get straight line wind this morning? So many trees are down. Yeah, Andy, I think there was some straight line winds. Maybe a tornado, too. Some of the damage I saw from Gravette, we had some trees that were twisted. So we'll see what the National Weather Service has to say. I don't work for them. But yeah, definitely some strong storms in Benton County this morning. Quite a bit of damage, unfortunately. So, all right, guys, I've got to go get my son from school. So I'm going to run and go get him and get settled in and get back to the house in case we have any weather warnings. I will be here through the evening hours tonight, and then I'll, of course, be here tomorrow. If we have tornado warnings tomorrow, obviously I'll be here. I plan on being here all day tomorrow, and especially in the afternoon when storms might get a little bit cranky. If we have tornado warnings or any significant severe thunderstorm warnings, like catastrophic stuff, I'll be on here live. I'll discuss it with you every step of the way. So huge thank you to Air Masters of Arkansas for sponsoring this live severe weather update, along with Autoplex Collision Repair. Two fantastic companies local to Arkansas. So thankful for all of my sponsors who allow me to do this for a living. You guys are awesome. And thank you guys so much for following. I appreciate your trust more than you